nuestra junta vamos a tener temas sobre los proyectos que están pasando ahora en nuestra ciudad. Vamos a tener a nuestro alcalde, Rudy Cruz Jr., y también nuestra directora de la ciudad de Development and Economía, Alejandra Valadez. Si tienen preguntas o quieren más información sobre esos proyectos, por favor, por eso aquí estamos, para convivir con ustedes y contestar sus preguntas. Today we'll be having a presentation by our Mayor, Rudy Cruz Jr., as well as our City Development Director and Economic Development, Ms. Alejandra Valadez. The point of today's meeting is to go over several city projects, the status of them, and engage with the community. Should you guys have any questions, please let us know. A little housekeeping before we start. If you need to use the restrooms, we do have a women's, men's, and ADA restroom in the hallway, and then we have 2 staff members in the hall that can help you, should you have any questions or concerns. Antes que comenzamos, vamos a decirles que tenemos 3 baños para ustedes, uno de hombres, mujeres y otras personas que necesitan ayuda con silla de ruedas. Tenemos ese espacio para ustedes. Si necesitan ayuda o tienen preguntas, tenemos 2 miembros de nuestro equipo ahí en la sala para que te puedan atender. Con eso quiero recibir nuestro alcalde, Rudy Cruz Jr. With that, I'd like to welcome Rudy Cruz Jr. to the podium. Thank you, Mayor.
Good morning, everyone. Muy buenos días. We wanted to do a town hall presentation and invite the community to come in, something more informal, because I know that at our city council meetings, a lot of our residents, they have questions or concerns, and we're not allowed to answer those questions unless it's something that's on our agenda item. Queríamos tener una junta muy informal para los residentes de la comunidad, porque en nuestras juntas no tenemos a veces esa opción para contestar sus preguntas ahí mismo si no está escrito en la agenda de la junta. Pero esta junta es más informal. Quiero recibir esas preguntas de nuestra comunidad, nuestros residentes, porque tenemos muchos proyectos que nos afectan. Y lo que van a ver hoy es una presentación que hizo Alejandra Valadez. Ella trabaja en el Departamento del Desarrollo Económico y Subvenciones. You're going to see a lot of the projects that we have displayed here in this presentation today. You're going to see a lot of it has been funded through grants, not necessarily our tax dollars. Pero es muy importante mantenernos informados. Yo sé que mucha gente se sube a las redes y ve muchas cosas que no necesariamente son correctas. Entonces invitamos a la gente para que se mantengan informados. Parques, calles, banquetas, esos son los proyectos que vamos a hablar. Hemos escuchado a la gente y quieren cosas pues nuevas en sus áreas. Y con nosotros esta mañana también tenemos 2 representantes, regidores de los distritos, Distrito 3, Gina Cordero y Alejandro García, District 2, el Distrito 2, uno de los distritos más nuevos. Ms. Cordero representa un área de Socorro de los primeros, por el área de la iglesia. Mr. García representa un área más nueva, aquí muy cerquitas de donde está la Escuela Sánchez y Ana y Moon. Pero van a ver muchos proyectos aquí. Después y durante la presentación, si tienen una pregunta, levanta la mano para contestar sus preguntas. We want to hear from you all. We want to see what the people of Socorro want. As you can see, somos muy pocos esta mañana. Mucha gente. No, yo sé, pero
No toda la gente, la mayoría del área somos adultos mayores, entonces no estamos al pendiente de las redes sociales.
Okay.
Y esa información no se corre igual.
Okay.
Los jóvenes sí, obviamente, pero pues ellos no están interesados en eso.
Y es lo que estamos tratando de entender nosotros también. Yo como, bueno, me considero una persona joven, 42 años, con muchas canas, pero ¿cómo podemos hacer algo para informar a la gente? Yo voy a estar en Juárez mañana en el canal 44, porque yo sé que mucha gente de la comunidad ve las noticias y entonces para mantener a mi gente informada, yo hago esas cosas. Yo me arriesgo la vida en ir a Juárez. Y antes de venirme, pues me paro ahí en la cantina a veces, Pero no, maybe we can put some like some sign boards along the road. How would you say in Spanish a signboard, electronic signboard? No. Pues un anuncio electrónico que podemos poner en una área central de Socorro durante la semana para informar a la gente, "Hey, vamos a tener una junta", o lo hacemos para los eventos. Y yo pienso que también lo podemos hacer para las juntas, ¿verdad? Pero también necesito la ayuda de la comunidad joven. Necesito ayuda de los jóvenes. Hey, dile a su abuela, dile a su tía para que corra la palabra, porque aquí en Socorro somos muy buenos para ser muy chismosos, y si alguien se chocó acá, pues ahí corre la palabra como lumbre, ¿verdad? Al igual yo quiero que corre la palabra para mantener a nuestra gente informados. So, maybe radio. I know that Mr. Victor Reta, él se encarga de informar a la gente por las redes, él se encarga del departamento, but I know we do a lot of radio and news media, and maybe we can start amplifying it a bit more. Sí. Mucha gente ya no lee el periódico como antes, ¿verdad? Y en el periódico, pues ya. Sí. Y we're going to work towards that. Tenemos que hacer un esfuerzo para mantener a ustedes más informados. Eso sí, estoy de acuerdo, y por eso están aquí nuestros representantes escuchando. No pueden estar todos los representantes todos juntos en la sala, porque hay reglas del estado de Texas, entonces eso sería una junta formal. Entonces hoy nos acompañan dos, y en la tarde a lo mejor nos acompañan los demás. But I can talk forever and ever. We're going to move forward with the presentation. Alejandra Valadez is going to go ahead and begin with the presentation. And again, take it away.
Good morning, buenos días. I'll be going over a presentation on some of our major projects. Please feel free to ask any questions. We have a wonderful team here that can help answer the questions if I don't know the answer. We have our city manager, we have our chief of police, we have our city planner, Ms. Lorraine. So please feel free to ask any questions. Voy a darles una presentación. Hay mucha información. En cualquier momento, si tienen una pregunta, por favor, levanten la mano. Tenemos un equipo muy bueno de trabajadores aquí de la ciudad que nos pueden ayudar a darle su respuesta. Okay? First of all, I'd like to start with our mission. Here in the city of Socorro, it's to collaborate with our citizens to provide outstanding municipal services. Nuestra misión aquí en la ciudad de Socorro es de colaborar con nuestros ciudadanos residentes para proveer servicios municipales para toda la comunidad. Our department is a Grants and Special Projects department. We focus on supporting the city's mission, primarily by securing funding. Funding of all different types, grants, loans, funding from foundations, sponsorships. Our second area is nonprofit development. We assisted with establishing the city's nonprofit organization, which also assists in securing funds. And lastly, we also do economic development through small business support and industry attraction. Nuestro departamento es el departamento de grants y proyectos especiales, y nuestro enfoque es asegurar fondos para los proyectos importantes de la ciudad. Okay. I'd like to start with this slide just to give you a little bit background of our history. In 2018, when we started keeping track of our grant funding, we had, thank you. That was not happening. In 2018, when we started keeping track of our grant funding, we had approximately $356,000 in active grant funding for the city of Socorro. So if you recall, 2018, our population was much smaller. Our staff was a lot smaller also. Antes de empezar, me gustaría darles una historia de qué tanto hemos crecido. En el 2018 teníamos un presupuesto de grants de aproximadamente $300,000, que es una cantidad muy pequeña. Desde el 2018 hemos crecido nuestro portfolio de grants y de dinero para los proyectos a $68 millones. So since 2018, we have grown our grants and special projects portfolio up to approximately $68 million. Those $68 million are allocated to various different projects, and they come from many different sources. Right now, we have $32 million in active grants funding, $16 million approximately in TxDOT projects, $10 million in stormwater projects, $8.5 million in ARPA projects, and approximately $1.4 million for the nonprofit partner for the city. Yes, sir.
I'm sorry. And cuando Alejandra usa la palabra grant, en español es subvenciones, becas. Son becas y recibimos porque aplicamos a nivel local, estatal y federal. Y esto nos ayuda para no tener que subir los impuestos de nuestros residentes. Siempre tratamos de mantener una cantidad de dinero de becas muy saludable. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor. That's right. And the important thing is that we're trying our best to keep up with the growth of the city of Socorro. Not only has our population grown, but also our grants and special projects. So that $68 million is broken up into all kinds of different projects, right? So I wanted to show you what the major project categories are for the $68 million. The largest categories are quality of life. 11% of those $68 million are dedicated to quality of life projects. For stormwater, 18% of those $68 million is for stormwater projects. And 67%, the majority of those $68 millions are for transportation projects. Yes, sir.
What exactly is quality of life?
Quality of life, good question. And I have a lot of slides talking about all of our quality of life projects. But basically, they are projects that benefit the community residents, help them to have a good quality of life. For example, parks, active transportation like trails, services that are provided through our senior center and our community center, walking, biking, sports, recreation, all of those would be categorized under quality of life.
And those occur right now, is that what you're saying?
Yes.
The projects being performed, or there's the ones that are already in existence?
So we have a few projects that are already underway, and then we also have some planned projects that I'm going to talk about also.
Now, as far as the stormwater. What exactly how does that work?
So stormwater are typically projects that are designed to mitigate flood hazards. For example, one of the projects that I'm going to discuss is the Sparks Arroyo project. So that watershed actually brings in a lot of water from up north of the freeway down to Socorro. So these kinds of projects require engineering and construction to make sure that we have the appropriate channels, basins to control that water so that it doesn't flood the neighboring communities. And then transportation projects, I know you're going to ask. Yeah, everything that is related to transportation, roadways, bridges, all of that. And so what I'll show you now is I'm going to show you details of all of our projects, major projects that we have going on right now. But I wanted to show this slide first. This is a standard project development timeline. And I like to start with this timeline because it shows how long these projects typically take from the planning phase all the way to engineering and finally construction and open to the public. Me gustaría empezar con esta gráfica porque enseña el proceso de cómo desarrollamos estos proyectos. Los proyectos que cuestan millones de dólares típicamente se tardan varios años en abrirse al público y es poquito frustrante porque no tenemos los proyectos ya listos de un día para el otro. Tenemos varias fases que tenemos que cumplir. Planeamiento, tenemos que encontrar el dinero. No puede proceder un proyecto sin saber de dónde va a venir el dinero para pagar por esas mejoras. Ingeniería, el diseño final y luego al final esta construcción. En total puede tardar el proyecto, dependiendo de qué tan complejo es, 5 años, 7 años, 10 años. Entre más grande y más complejo, más años va a tardar. Entonces, tenemos dos lugares donde tenemos que parar. La primera es después de programar el proyecto, tenemos que identificar de dónde van a venir los fondos. La ciudad de Socorro no tiene fondos infinitos, tenemos que aplicar a becas, tenemos que aplicar a loans, tenemos que hacer mucho trabajo para encontrar dinero para traer a la comunidad. So the key thing here is that we have a major roadway critical stop here, and that is securing funding. The city of Socorro cannot proceed with any projects until it finds where those funds are coming from. And some of these projects are 20, 40, 30 million dollar projects, so it's very important that we identify those funds before we proceed, okay? With that, we'll start with quality of life. Empecemos con proyectos comunitarios. Our first type of projects that we're going to talk about is our Rio Vista Rehabilitation Project. So this is the site that's right across the street. It's a very important National Historic Landmark. We love it, but it's also a very expensive project. Once it is built, it's going to include all kinds of amenities that are going to be beneficial to the community, including our first ever public library, a health clinic, education classrooms for workforce development, what else? Our community center, our fitness rooms, our art classrooms. So there's going to be a lot of those quality of life projects and areas for the community. El primer proyecto es la rehabilitación de Rio Vista. Es un proyecto muy grande, muy importante, muy costoso, pero cuando se termine va a tener muchos beneficios para la comunidad, incluyendo una librería, una clínica pública, lugares para hacer zumba, ejercicios, todo eso. Sí, claro. No, en este momento los planes no tienen alberca. Sí. Y eso es un comentario importante para ajá, sí, para empezar a buscar, ajá, sí, para empezar a buscar cómo se podría hacer ese tipo de proyecto, ¿verdad? Oh, yeah. Sí. El semáforo, no, sí, ese es un proyecto que, ya.
Y por eso se hacen estas juntas, porque en las juntas regular de la Cabildo no podemos tener estas pláticas, así que me gusta más este tipo de plática. El estado, porque la calle North Loop le pertenece al estado de Texas, ya tienen programado poner el semáforo ahí en North Loop y Bowman, así que ya viene, ya tiene muchos años, yo sé que sí, ahora sí, yo pienso que se va a mover un poquito más rápido porque ya viene mucho desarrollo, sí, mucho tráfico, entonces nosotros hemos mantenido una relación muy cercana con los de TxDOT para poder poner ese semáforo, pero ya viene, yo sé que es algo que han escuchado por muchos años, que ya viene, pero a lo mejor podemos tener, para la próxima vez, tener este tipo de junta con los de TxDOT para que nos expliquen los nuevos proyectos que vienen y cuándo vienen, porque eso es importante. Al pedirle a TxDOT un semáforo, hoy se puede tardar hasta 6, 8 meses en programar eso, porque muchas cosas vienen de diferentes partes de Texas. No es tan fácil lograr ese tipo de instalación, pero qué bueno que nos están comentando eso, ya viene, eso ya viene, pero sí, yes, thank you. All right.
Uno de los proyectos que ya está a caso de terminar es la construcción de Building 17. Este va a ser un museo para conmemorar la historia de los braceros. Es el edificio que está aquí cruzando la calle, ya se puede ver que está construido, ya van a terminar. En todos los proyectos van a ver esa línea abajo. Esa línea explica en qué año empezamos a planear el proyecto y cuándo se va a abrir al público. Okay? For every project that you see on the slide, you're going to see a timeline. The timeline explains the year that we started planning the project and an estimated year for when the project is going to be open to the public. So this is the Rio Vista rehabilitation for Building 17, which is the site of a future Bracero Museum. This project is 100% grant funded, so no taxpayer funds were spent on this project. We did receive a grant from the Andrew Mellon Foundation. The grant was awarded to our partner nonprofit, the CSEI, and that's how we were able to fund this project. Okay. No, this is for this building only. So on here, you're gonna see also, you see that little campus on the right-hand side? That little square denotes that project. So in 2027, that building is gonna be open. Yes, and then I'll show you the next buildings that are coming up. So the next building is Building 18. This is the Quonset Hut. This is gonna be part of the Bracero Museum, okay? It was also, the planning also started in 2020. We also expect for it to be done in 2027. Again, this project was fully funded by grants through our partnership with the CSEI nonprofit. We received a grant from Latinos in Heritage Conservation. The total project cost is approximately $400,000, and so you'll see that coming up also in 2027, okay? The next buildings that we'll talk about is the buildings next to it, which is Building 19, and also the shed, the shade structure, porch structure. That planning for that was also started in 2020. We did receive a grant from the National Park Service. We received $750,000. The project cost is approximately $750,000. And it will be open to construction, open to the public, estimated 2028. Se espera que este proyecto va a estar abierto al público en el año 2028. ¿Sí? So, continuing on with Rio Vista, we have Building 13. That is the building that is to the far in the back over here in this corner. That building is going to be turned into a business incubator. So it's going to provide a place where businesses can come in and get technical assistance on their business, either from workforce development or from the Small Business Administration. And they'll be able to do that in that building. That is 100% grant funded, and we expect that to be open to the public in 2029, hasta el año 2029. The next project that we have is the Rio Vista State Appropriations. So we actually received $2 million in appropriations from our state through the 89th legislature. It is 100% grant funded. There are no local funds for that. Right now, the phase that it's at is in the programming phase, meaning we are in the process of entering into an agreement with the state for that project. Right now, we don't have a scope of work for the project, but we know that it'll assist to rehabilitate a portion of the Rio Vista campus. Is that correct, Victor? Okay. Este proyecto apenas está empezando, está en el proceso de entrar en contrato con el Estado. El Estado nos ha dado $2 millones para hacer construcción allí en Rio Vista. Todavía no sabemos exactamente cuál de los edificios se van a mejorar, pero esperamos que el proyecto se va a terminar en el año 2030. Okay. I believe, lastly, for Rio Vista, we have Building 15 and 16. This project is right now in the grant application phase. We are currently applying for funds through federal appropriations for this project. Building 15 and 16 are designed to be workforce development classrooms. We have a partnership with Workforce Solutions Borderplex for them to come in and provide some training there. The project cost is approximately $3.7 million. And if we get funded, if we get the funding, it'll be open to the public in 2030, okay? Este proyecto apenas estamos aplicando para los fondos. Si es que nos dan los fondos, esperamos que el proyecto se va a terminar y va a estar abierto al público hasta 2030. Okay. So that's pretty much it on Rio Vista. We're going to continue to secure funding to complete until we complete the entire site. But those are the major projects that we have going on right now. Okay. If no questions on Rio Vista, I'll move on to park improvements, if that's okay. So for park improvements, right now we're working on the development of 6 improvements to 6 local parks. En este momento estamos trabajando en mejoramientos para 6 parques públicos. Los 6 parques son Amistad, Jardín de Flores, Cougar Park, Calisto Park, Valle Hermoso Park, and Moon City Park. So those are the 6 parks that we're targeting at this time. The total cost for the 6 parks is about $3.9 million. And I'm going to show you each of the parks, what are the planned improvements for each park, okay? Empezando con el Parque Amistad. So we start with Amistad Park. The total cost for this park is approximately $392,000. Right now, we're working on securing funding for that project. What are we trying to do? We're trying to make improvements to the basketball court, to the soccer field, to get a new playground, to install benches, trash bins, bike racks, a pergola, signage, and then, of course, landscaping and irrigation for the whole park. Los mejoramientos que estamos tratando de agarrar fondos es mejoramientos a la corte de básquetbol, a la corte de soccer, poner jueguitos nuevos para los niños y poner zacate e irrigación. ¿Sí? ¿Sí? Amistad Park, let me see if I can. Oh no, I can't do it here because I'm not connected. Never mind. Yes, it's on Dindinger. Por la calle Socorro, por la gasolinera que está en la Socorro, bajando por ahí está. Okay. El próximo parque es Jardín de Flores. Este parque está alocado por la Passmore, saliendo de la Passmore, entre Alameda y Socorro. El costo para este proyecto es aproximadamente $400,000. Estamos tratando de traer equipo de ejercicio, mesas, grills, bancas, pérgolas también para la sombra y zacate e irrigación. Right now, we're targeting some funds for that project as well, and if we get funded, the project will be open to the public in 2027. Okay. The next park is Cougar Park. The total cost is approximately $600,000 for the improvements. We're trying to improve it by adding improving the basketball court, playground equipment, benches, trash bins, bike rack, a gazebo, walking path, lighting, landscaping, and irrigation. Again, this is part of that packet that we're putting together, and if we get funded, it'll be open to the public in 2027. Okay. The next park that we have is Calisto. Calisto Park, the costs are approximately $400,000. We're trying to install new volleyball sand courts, basketball court, pickleball court, a jogging path around the park, benches, picnic tables, trash bins, bike racks, and then fitness equipment also. If we get funds, we're actually putting together a packet for funding for next year, and if we get funded, this will be open to the public in 2028. Okay. The next park that we have is Moon City Park. The total cost for this project is approximately $700,000. We're trying to improve this park by improving the basketball court, adding a rock wall, a jogging path, a pergola, playground, picnic tables, trash bins, bike racks, a shade structure, and landscaping and irrigation. This one will be submitted for a grant application next year. If we get funded for that, it'll also come into, open to the public in 2027. Lighting, yes. So, yes, it's also to beautify the park. So right now they have a chain link fence, and it's kind of ugly. So they're gonna do a rock wall, and from the renderings, it looks very nice. And the next park we have is Valle Hermoso Park. Valle Hermoso Park, the cost is approximately $700,000. Again, we're doing various improvements like picnic tables, trash bins, bike racks, but we're also adding an amphitheater. It's kind of like a shade structure with a concrete pad. Amistad Park, I believe it's by, okay, atrás de las Sánchez. Creo que está, bueno, ya me norteé. But again, if we are funded, that should be open to the public in 2027. And that's all I have on park improvements. If no questions, I have more projects for transportation.
Well, let me ask you,
Yes.
do you have any projects or any ideas for like walk paths and stuff like that?
So most of these projects are gonna have a walking path around the,
Or you don't have something, you're not planning, like Tornillo, you know, they have that long walk path.
yes,
Anything like that?
yes, we do. It's actually under transportation. You see that green line? Those are the trail segments that we're working on also. So I'll talk about that in a second.
Okay.
Yeah? Okay. Yes, I'm sorry.
As far as Socorro Paradise Park, there's no cost for any type of walking paths or anything like that or improvement?
So right now, it's not on the list for park improvements, but that's something that we can certainly look at the next phase for development, right? As we tackle these 6 parks over the next 2 years, I think that's the opportunity to continue with the rest of our parks.
Right, so the city is going out for certificate of obligations, right? So we're asking for funding through a grant for these improvements. That will alleviate some funding from the capital improvement program to be able to target other parks that are not on this list.
Yeah, just a thought that, instead of picking it up, it's being deteriorated because everything that was taken off was never put back. And so right now, it's worse. And all they use it for is just to dump the water that they pick up from other parks. That's the only thing that they use it for.
Yes, so it is on the list of improvements, so the items were taken down to improve. We just haven't gotten to it just because of the amount of projects that we have going on. Right, but they're eventually gonna, and then also understand that that park does not belong to the city, we lease it. Right, so any improvement that is being made to that park has to be, we have to partner up with the water irrigation district to be able to do any type of improvement.
So as part of the contract with the water improvement district, it doesn't give you any authority to do any improvement?
Not without their approval,
So what does it give you? Then what's the point of the contract?
to be able to use it,
But you had improved.
not without their permission, because it is not our facility.
So that's a good point. The more grants that we are able to get into our community, the more funding is available from our other sources of funding to tackle more parks, right? And we're pretty good about working with our partners to make sure that we get these projects through. So if you just let us tackle these 6 parks over the next 2 years, we can continue with more. Yeah.
Alejandra, I just wanted to add, I know you don't have the Bulldog Park on there, but right now it's under construction, correct?
Yes, that is correct. I don't have Bulldog Park in here, but there are improvements that are happening there through our Public Works Department. No, those are from our general city budget, yeah. Okay. So for transportation, let me keep going. For transportation, we have a number of projects throughout the city, and you're going to see them broken up into different categories. I'll first talk about our roadway projects, then I'll talk about our complete streets projects. I'll talk about the sidewalks projects, some of our trails, and some of our bridge projects, and you'll see them throughout the city. To start, this is one of our roadway projects. This is the Nuevo Hueco Tanks Road Extension Project. This is a 1-mile extension of Nuevo Hueco Tanks Road from North Loop down to Alameda. Okay? The project includes 4 lanes divided with a shared use path so that people can walk or bike also on that same roadway. The phase of this project right now, it's in the final design phase. It's approximately 60% designed, so we're getting closer to the final design. The total cost is approximately $24 million. We have received funds from the MPO, and at this time, it is 53% grant funded and 46% local funds, okay? We started planning for this project in 2018. Right now, you see where that red dot is. That's where we're at right now, at the 60% design. We're hoping that the project is ready for construction in October 2027, and that the roadway will be open to the public in 2029. Yes, sir.
These projects, as far as the cost, do you have, do you take in consideration that the prices are gonna go up higher or something like that?
Yes, so that's one of the reasons why it's important for us to try to go as fast as possible on these projects, because every year adds an inflation cost. We do calculate that in our construction estimate. So when the engineer prepares the final 100% design, they will add an inflation cost based on the year that they're expecting it to finish. This is a locally led project, but it is in partnership with TxDOT, as they do provide funding for the project. The next project that we have is Arterial 1. This is a 4.2-mile arterial from Socorro Road to I-10. Right now, that project is in the preliminary phase. So if you see where that dot is, the scope of work is a 4.2-mile roadway, 4-lane divided with a shared use path as well. So that's what it's going to look like on the right-hand side. That's one side of the roadway. It'll have approximately a 10 to 12 shared use path, so that people can walk or bike on that arterial as well. We started planning for this project in 2018. Right now, we're in the preliminary phase. We're hoping that we'll end the preliminary phase at the end of this year, and that's where the project is going to stop at this time, because we do not have any construction funds identified for the project yet. Okay, so remember I shared with you that the project cannot proceed until we have identified funding for that project. So this project is a major project, and we have to work on identifying funds for the project first before it can proceed on to construction. I don't have an estimated open to the public date yet, because we don't have funds identified. Yes, sir. Yes, for the engineering phase, So we don't have any funds for construction yet, and we don't know exactly what the taxpayer. Todavía eso no sabemos, por eso no tenemos mapa indicando el dónde va a ir, porque estamos haciendo la diseño preliminario. Entonces, no tengo mucha información en este proyecto porque no ha avanzado todavía. Okay. The next project that we have is a bridge project. So this is the Rio Vista Bridge Replacement Project. The scope of work was to replace the bridge and add sidewalks to the bridge crossing. This is the bridge on Rio Vista and Alameda. The total cost was about $1.9 million. This was 70% grant funded, 30% local funds for the project. We started planning for that project in 2018, and it opened to the public in 2025. We're very happy. We're very proud of it. Took a long time, but that's why we have it up there. The next project is also the Bovey Bridge project. This is a similar project. It was a bridge replacement, sidewalks, and striping. Again, the cost was approximately $1.4 million. This one was 86% grant funded, 13% local funded. We started this project in 2018. It was finally open to the public in 2025. So it took a long time, but it's finally open. These next bridges are upcoming bridges that we're gonna do, okay? The next bridge that we have is a Vineyard Road bridge replacement. The scope of work is a bridge replacement and sidewalks and striping. So that's what it looks like now. Right now, we are at 30% design. The total cost is approximately $1.2 million. This is 100% grant funded through a very, very cool partnership with the Isleta del Sur Pueblo. Isleta del Sur is partnering with the city of Socorro to access funds from the federal government that are only available to tribes. And so they're gonna help us pay for this project. Right now we're at 30% design, and we expect that to be open to the public in 2027, if everything goes well, okay? What could go wrong? Many things. One of the biggest things that holds us back is the irrigation season. Cuando hay irrigación, no podemos trabajar en el nada porque lo más importante es que pase el agua. The next project is Passmore Road. This scope of work is bridge replacement, sidewalks, shared use path, and striping. The total cost is approximately $1.3 million. Again, it's 100% grant funded because we're partnering with Isleta del Sur Pueblo. We started this project in 2023, and we hope that it'll be open to the public by 2027. And lastly, this is a sort of new project, not really new, but new to us. It's the Horizon Boulevard Bridge project. This is a grade separation project so that we have way to get over the railroad tracks on Horizon. This project is especially important for law enforcement, emergency services, and so it's very important that they're able to cross when there's an emergency. The total cost is $42 million. Right now, we are in the programming phase, meaning we are applying for funds for this project. So that's why it says to be determined. We don't know exactly how much it'll cost. We did apply for a grant. If we are funded through that grant, 100% of the project will be funded by that grant, okay? If we are funded, it'll be a few years before you see that project coming up. Right now, we don't have an estimated completion date for you all. The next project is Moon Road Complete Streets Project. This project is 2 miles, and the project is intended to create a complete streets design all through the Moon Road segments. Complete streets means that there is amenities for all travelers, people that are on their cars, people that are walking, people that are biking. Se supone que el proyecto va a acomodar a todo tipo de personas que están viajando por Moon Road. Personas que están manejando, que están en su silla de ruedas o en bicicleta. That's what the project will ultimately look like, the lanes and shared use path for people to bike or walk on. El proyecto empieza en Socorro, en la calle Socorro, y termina en la calle Grijalva. En total son aproximadamente 2 millas. El costo total es aproximadamente 1.7 millones. Ya recibimos fondos por medio de una beca. En este momento estamos haciendo el contrato con la agencia federal. En cuanto termine el contrato, esperamos que este proyecto se termine en el año 2030. Okay. The next project we have is the Rio Vista Complete Streets Feasibility Study. It's the same project as Moon Road, but also on Rio Vista. So again, sidewalks, landscaping, making sure that we have a shared use path, that we have medians and all of that. The project starts on Socorro Road and it ends on Thunder Road, so right up here, I believe. The total cost is $2.8 million. The project is 100% grant funded. Right now, we're at the programming phase. We're working on an agreement with TxDOT, and if as soon as the agreement goes through, we expect the project to be completed in 2030. For our safe sidewalks, we have our Safe Routes to Schools project. So Safe Routes to Schools is a lot of the programming funds that are available for sidewalks. So we have approximately 8 miles of new sidewalk that is going to be installed in the next few years. Everything that you see in yellow is a new sidewalk. They include, and I have the list there, Panaji, San Isidro, Baman, Episo, North Moon, Van Nuys, Montel, there's a lot of them, okay? And the project also includes flashing beacons along 8 local schools, as well as raised crosswalks for kids. So it's a safety project that allows kids to get to school safely. So the total project cost is approximately $3.6 million. We did receive a grant from the El Paso Metropolitan Planning Organization. This project is 80% funded and only 20% local funds. Right now, we're also working on the contract for that grant. We do expect the project to be fully built by 2029. Okay? And lastly, we have our trails. So this is part of the Paso Norte Trail Master Plan, which is a big, long trail project that is going to cross El Paso County from Anthony, Texas, all the way down to Fabens. And this is our portion, the Socorro portion. So it'll kind of look like that picture there. That's one of the segments in El Paso. Right now, the project is at 30% design. The total project is approximately $16 million. We did receive a grant from TxDOT. The project is 100% funded. Right now, we're at the 30% final design mark, and if all goes well, we should see the project open to the public in 2028. So, right there. So the project, the Alameda portion is the segment that TxDOT is developing, because that's TxDOT's area, right? They have given the city of Socorro permission to do the improvements on Socorro Road, which is also their roadway, right? So what the city of Socorro is working on is those segments that go along Socorro Road, that segment that is on Passmore, and lastly, that little loop that connects up to Alameda. Those are the ones that the city of Socorro is working on and that are going to be open to the public by 2028. Alameda, on the TxDOT side, I'm not sure yet, but we can find that information for you all. But it's pretty soon. They were supposed to start construction on that Alameda section in 2026. So I don't know why the project got delayed. We can ask. And then lastly, for stormwater, we only have one project to show you all today. That's the Sparks Arroyo Drainage Improvement Project. That project is going to help mitigate a lot of the flooding that comes down from Horizon and the Sparks area. If you see that line over here, this is I-10, and everything north of that is what they call the watershed. That's all the water that is coming down to Socorro, right here through Thunder and into the Onion Field up here. So it's important for the neighboring community that we implement this stormwater safety project. The total project cost is approximately $11 million. We did get a state grant of $3.4 million. We are also allocating $1 million from federal funds that the city of Socorro received under ARPA. And we also have a state loan that is a 0% interest loan in the amount of $6.6 million. We started planning for this project in 2016. Right now, we are near final design, if not 90%, 100% design. And we expect that project to go to construction and be open to the public by 2028. And I believe that that's all I have for you all in terms of projects. If you have any questions, si tienen alguna pregunta o recomendación, tomamos sus sugerencias, sí.
Well, real quick question, I don't know if you have it. North Loop, any ideas on that?
The north.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's also something that we're keeping track of because they have la planeación, ya hicieron la planeación. They did the corridor study, right? But we haven't heard a concrete timeline of when they're going to start actual construction.
But they do have it planned.
They do. On the TechStat website, Mr. Alfredo, do you mind going to the TechStat website? I'm going to show you how to get to it.
And how far down does it go?
It starts here in Horizon and it goes all the way down to Fabens. All the way down, yeah. It's a big, big project. If you go to TechStat. Oh, es un sendero. Va a estar en primera, bueno, sí, va a haber dos. Un segmento va a ser por la Alameda. Ajá. Ese segmento lo está trabajando TechStat. Van a poner un sendero por la Alameda desde el Loop hasta los límites de la ciudad de Socorro. There. Yeah. Scroll up a little, so maybe we can see the video. Eh. They don't have it. Do they have a timeline in there? Yeah, but we can go in there and look if they have a. No. Yeah, and that's a good recommendation that Mayor gave. Next time we have a town hall meeting, invite TechStat so that they're able to answer some of those questions, right? But I don't have a timeline. I don't. Yeah. The light on Bauman is a big thing, but even then, the light on Bauman,
Oh, yeah, well, that's gonna help, but still,
it's still
they're building warehouse with all the semis trying to turn in. They
It's bad, yeah, it's really bad.
All right, well, I appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, no, thank you for coming. It was a super long one. Sorry about that. Por el semáforo ese que falta en la...
Pues sí, en el semáforo, ahí en la Horizon y no Loop, pasan casi todos los días. Otra cosa, por ejemplo,
Pero es porque la gente se pasa en la luz roja.
Esa es una razón, y la otra razón es porque cruzan usando el green light, no el green arrow. So ellos piensan que pueden cruzar el frente con más una luz verde, pero necesitan el luz verde como una
por ejemplo, donde se termina los dos carriles de la no Loop, que empieza ya las nogaleras y todo eso, ya ve que, ¿qué van a hacer allí? ¿Qué está pasando? O sea,
¿Dónde quitaron las nogaleras?
sí, donde quitaron las
Right?
Oh, sí, ya.
So va a ser una planta industrial que están ahorita, por eso quitaron todos los árboles, ¿verdad? Porque se va a hacer una
y
planta.
se va a hacer la fe. Bueno, esas calles de
Las
la
calles
calle
se
se
van,
suponieron.
pero este también es proyecto del Estado.
Sí,
Pero ya lo tienen como programado, más que no hay fondos, y hay muchos proyectos. Si ven en toda la ciudad del Paso hay proyectos.
Dice, ¿verdad? Que no hay fondos, pero yo digo que para los semáforos, esas compañías y tantas casas que han hecho deberían de poner un poquito porque ellos están causando ese tráfico. Ahora si se fijan, aquí donde es donde están haciendo esa construcción, el pavimento se está fregando por tanto tráiler pesado que pasa por ahí. Si se fijan, pasa por ahí, se siente algo enorme, se siente, lo van a fregar y ellos son responsables de componer eso. Yo opino,
Sí,
¿verdad?
sí, sí.
Por eso ellos sí también deberían de poner un poco de su parte, de pasar corredoras o algo, porque sí están perjudicando el pavimento.
pero barrerlas.
O no sé, algo que hagan,
Barrer, ¿qué va a hacer? O sea,
limpien, que
no, necesitan una que buena carretera doble.
no sé qué será.
Porque es demasiado tráfico grande, pesado, que nos está afectando a la ciudad de Socorro.
Sí,
Y va a crecer más, y va a venir
Pues
más.
sí, exactamente.
Los que pongan
Ese proyecto se supone, yo vine a una junta en el 2009,
Oh.
que se suponía que iban a hacer esa carretera toda hasta Clean y todo eso doble, y nomás llegó hasta el Pier Piper, o sea, ahí se quedó. Y ya ha pasado cuánto tiempo, o sea, no pasa nada. Digo que esa área de nosotros está olvidada. Tenemos un parque supuestamente que no tiene ni luz, nomás está lleno de drogadictos ahí, o sea, ni podemos ir a caminar ahí ni nada.
¿Por cuál área es?
Aquí en Mario Park, pasando la Horizon,
Ajá.
donde está las Sparks,
Ah, ok.
es que el señor Legales debe de saber de eso, ¿verdad? Pero pues no nos ayuda con nada. No nos ha puesto ni luz que le hemos pedido, y no. A la soya y la siguiente para él, porque está el canalito.
She's talking about Paradise Park.
Paradise Park?
Así.
Maxine.
Y yo voy, soya, Lidia, está atrás de la soya, ese parque. Hay peleas de perros y esos animales también se vienen a nuestras casas.
Is that the one that Miss Margie said also? Paradise? Okay. Nice patch of parks.